What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. As you can see, Cody Bellinger went off yesterday for 5 hits, but actually he wasn't the best Cubs hitter yesterday. We'll talk about that later on. Jacob deGrom had a no-hitter going and a masterclass in the works, but he had to leave early with an injury. Manny Machado kind of called out Padres fans for being fair weather, so we'll get into that. And also, the Mets and the Dodgers, they faced off in a crazy game, so stay tuned for all of that. Just a really quick reminder, if you're going to any baseball games, concerts anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. And also, we're so close to 450,000 subs. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you all so much for your support lately. Let's get into the recap. The first game I want to talk about from yesterday, the Angels at the Red Sox. If the Halos lose this game, that'll be a 4-game sweep. Hunter Renfroe is a big man, and that is a big man home run. 7 extra base hits and an almost 370 on base percentage in his first handful of games as a member of the Angels. Ohtani, he had an RBI ground out for the 5th run. We'll talk about why that was important in just a second, but on the bump, he was only allowed to go 2 innings because a rain delay ruined it. He had 3 strikeouts, no hits allowed, even though he did allow that 1 run. Yeah, he was going to be special yesterday, just unfortunately, it is a huge injury risk to have a pitcher not pitch for an hour and a half, come back out and pitch, so they brought in Tucker Davidson, who was really good. Shohei's ground out was massive because that 5th run ended up being the deciding run as the Angels barely avoid the sweep after closing pitcher Carlos Estevez. He almost imploded. He made things interesting. The Angels are 18th in team OPS as an offense and 10th in team ERA. So just like last year, pitching is not really the issue, or I should say starting pitching. The bullpen and timely hitting, those are going to be bugaboos for the Angels for the rest of the year. The Marlins and the San Francisco Giants, Jazz Chisholm Jr. and Luis Arraez, they were not in the last few games, but they wanted to remind fans that this is still very much their team. Chisholm got the scoring started in the 3rd, and Luis, he brought it to within 1 later in the 6th inning. The Marlins are still down by 1 though, when Jorge Soler, he steps in for a pinch hit opportunity. He's either going to strike out, walk, or hit one 415. Yeah, he hit one 415 feet. He's having a very Jorge Soler start to the season. He's barely hitting 220 with a bunch of extra base hits. Miami, they close it out and they win 5-4 after AJ Puck got a 2nd save. AJ Puck has been incredible for them so far, as well as Jesus Luzardo. So former A's coming in huge for the Miami Marlins. Tampa Bay got dealt their first Uno reverse card of the season, or maybe this was a draw 4 that was combined with another draw 4, so a draw 8, because they were the ones getting bullied in this one versus the Cincinnati Reds. I tried to warn you guys yesterday that this Cincy lineup is sneaky good. Kevin Newman, he popped off for his 2nd home run, and he got on base again in the 4th, and he scored on a base-clearing triple from TJ Friedl. By the way, TJ is hitting .304 with 9 RBIs, kind of shocking the world right now. Since he kept pouring on, Stevenson and Newman both had RBI singles in the 7th. They ended up with 8 total on the day. Cincinnati is 11th in all of baseball in runs scored, so they're no walk in the park. Not an easy offense to pitch against. Cincinnati, they're going to be a powerhouse in the next 2 or 3 years. Just you wait. The Royals and the Rangers. You guys remember that show, That's So Raven, when she could look into the future at almost any given moment? Yeah, we saw a look into the future for what the Rangers are building towards. The super prospect, Josh Young, he's raking to begin the season. That 3-run tater was his 3rd of the year. He has a cool 128 OPS plus as well, so he's very good. Speaking of very good, Marcus Semien, they allowed this guy to get hot. He's up to 13 RBIs already. And finally, the piece de resistance for the Rangers going forward, Jacob deGrom being unhittable. That's their secret sauce. A lot of offense and prospects coming up at the right time. Just unfortunately, Jacob deGrom is like that guy from SpongeBob where every time he moves, he breaks something. And I feel so bad for saying that, but Jacob deGrom cannot stay healthy. Even though he throws 4 no-hit innings with 5 strikeouts, he had to leave with a wrist issue. He's probably going to be fine, but it does suck. But him leaving gave another player the opportunity to shine, and Dane Dunning, he took advantage of that opportunity. He basically matched Jacob deGrom. He also threw 4 shutout with 5 strikeouts. So again, a look into the future. The Rangers, they went 4-0, and I really feel like they're going to be just as good as the Reds in 2024 and 2025 because the prospects, they're going to mean all the difference. The Diamondbacks and the Cardinals, this game was a pitching clinic. Until it wasn't. Jack Flaherty really calmed down after a 1st inning RBI to Ketel Marte, and Merrill Kelly, he looked locked in as well. He made it through 5 scoreless before allowing the tying run to score. Merrill Kelly can still get the W if his offense can pick him up, and they did more than pick him up. They teed off. Ketel Marte is trying to heat up with his 2nd home run of the year, and Pavin Smith pulls off a move straight out of the game. Mortal Kombat, that grand slam finishes St. Louis, and because they put up all these runs before Merrill Kelly was taken out, he does get the W. He went 6 innings, 1 earned run on no walks. Arizona is now 10-7. They're first in the NL West still. The pitching staff for the St. Louis Cardinals, I do want to mention, they have a 1.47 whip, which is 5th worst in all of baseball. The Astros and the Blue Jays, you know Kevin Gausman was off to a hot start to the season when allowing 8 runs over 4 innings. Brings your season ERA to only 3.65, so he was lights out to begin his first few starts. Like, it's still pretty good to have a 3.65 ERA after giving up 8 in a single start. But yeah, Houston, they brought the heat early, scoring 2 on that Jose Abreu double in the first. And then there's the rookie, Cody Bellinger. He has awful plate discipline, but when he puts the ball in play, magic happens. That 2-run double was followed by an opposite field home run from Jake Myers. He wanted a piece of the first inning action as well. That's his first of 2023. I wanted to show this home run from Matt Chapman before we finish off the rest of the Houston highlights. The dude is hitting .410 with 12 extra base hits and 16 RBIs. Okay, back to Houston. The rookie connected for another RBI extra base hit, but this time he brought himself home. Cody Bellinger went 425 feet. My goodness. All of that was for Christian Javier, who finally looked like the Christian that we all know and love. 1 earned run over 5 innings, only 3 hits allowed. The Astros, they win big 9-2. So if you've been spending your entire life looking for the fountain of youth, I hate to say it, but Andrew McCutchen, he beat you to it. He's hitting .302 with 3 home runs and 3 stolen bases on the season. For his career, he is 5 doubles away from 400, 10 home runs away from 300. He can become the 15th outfielder ever to have 400 doubles, 300 home runs, and 200 stolen bases in a single career. Is he going to make the Hall of Fame? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, back to the game where clearly you can see that Pittsburgh is having a lot of fun. Even Austin Hedges had an RBI, and that dude is the worst hitter in baseball history. I don't care if it's professional baseball, Little League baseball, he's the worst. Hayes, Reynolds, and Santana, they all had multi-RBI performances, and the Pirates had 13 before the 5th even came to a close. So Rich Hill, his gem was kind of overshadowed by the offense, but he was really good. 43-year-old Phenom goes 6 innings with 1 earned run on 7 strikeouts. He's still been awful to begin the season, but you got to tip your cap to Pittsburgh. They showed up today. Jack Sawinski, 460 feet on that home run, made it the 14th spot. The Pirates, out of nowhere, are 10-7. They have the 12th best team OPS in baseball. They don't even have Henry Davis or Nick Gonzalez, so the Pirates offense is only going to get better. And again, they're without O'Neal Cruz as well. Now, real quick, I want to show this home run from Chris Bryant. You might be asking, wait, Chris Bryant still exists? Yes, he does. That's his first home run in Coors Field since signing with the Rockies a year ago. It took him a while, but I wanted to show that because it's so random, and sometimes I do forget that Chris even exists, but I guess that's what playing for the Rockies will do. I'm sorry if you're a Colorado fan. I've been kind of mean to you this year. So we just saw the Pirates absolutely tee off against a bad team. We know the Pirates are in the Central, and yeah, another Central team went off against a bad team. This time, the Chicago Cubs, they went off. Lots to talk about, so let's break down the offense first. As you just saw, Patrick Wisdom went 430 feet for his 7th home run. Hello? Don't go anywhere because he wasn't done just yet. A lot of singles from guys in the meat of the order. They blow it open to a 6th spot. Now, the flip side of this one, the pitching, Hayden Wesneski, he was so nasty. I don't care if it was against the A's. 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts over 7 while not allowing any walks. Since the beginning of last year, he has a combined 2.74 ERA, so if he can figure out how to keep that nasty stuff in check, his command is really the biggest issue. If he can really fine-tune that, he's going to be disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, Patrick Wisdom now has 8 home runs. He is tied for the MLB lead with Pete Alonso, but stay for the Mets game. We'll see if Pete Alonso can get up to 9 home runs because, again, it was a crazy one. But massive shout out to Patrick Wisdom, who has 30 doubles, 33 home runs, and 8 stolen bases over his last 148 games. Cody Bellinger went 5 for 5 in this game. He either tied a career high or set a career high with 5 hits in a single game. He's hitting .310 with 3 home runs, 3 stolen bases, and 1 outs above average in center field defensively. Cody Bellinger, I'm not trying to jinx or anything because, again, I am knocking on wood. Yesterday I said my wood is made of desk. I don't know what my brain said, but my desk is made of wood, and I am knocking on it. I am not jinxing Cody Bellinger. Milwaukee broke out early against the Mariners with some run support from Luke Voigt and Owen Miller, but we got to talk about Corbin Burnes real quick because, to Milwaukee's credit, he hasn't been all that great since the second half of last year. He had a 3.97 ERA in the second half of last year, which isn't that horrible, but he has a 4.76 ERA to begin 2023. Plenty of time to figure it out and right the ship, but I don't like this next sentence. The walks are up for Corbin Burnes and the strikeouts are down a lot. Brewers fans, you watch every single pitch, so let me know in the comments what's going on. Is there an injury that I'm not familiar with? I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's mechanics. Now, he still got the W because his offense is just that good. Rookie Bryce Terang has 2 home runs and 3 stolen bases on the season. Yelich is trying desperately to save his career. He's hitting 194 over the last 7 games with 10 strikeouts over 30 at-bats. He is is just completely washed at this point. J-Rod, he popped off for his third. It's just not enough to spark a rally. This game never really felt close. The Mariners, they fall back under 500. I think there's 8-9 or something like that. The Padres and the Braves. Now, if I really wanted to, I could show Austin Riley's 4th home run of the season and just move on to the next game, because that was all the scoring for both squads. But I can't do that because that means we can't talk about Ronald collecting 3 more hits. He's hitting .390. He's #1 in hits and runs scored. Max Fried, he was back and healthy. He pitched out of his mind, but he wasn't allowed to throw more than 5 because, again, it was his first start off of the IL. He went 5 shutout with 4 strikeouts, no walks, and the bullpen, they did its job. Collectively, as a bullpen, the Braves have a 2.78 ERA. AJ Minter already has 4 saves on the year. The Braves are 13-4. So that loss right there sent the Padres to an 8-10 record, and Manny Machado essentially called out bandwagon San Diego Padres fans. Now, this team got to the NLCS just a year ago, so I expect big things from them. Fernando Tatis Jr. is coming back Thursday, which is a good thing because Manny Machado is hitting .239 with a 69 OPS plus. Juan Soto is hitting .217 since joining the Padres last year. The Padres, they need a distraction, someone to kind of take away the eyeballs from guys who are underperforming like Manny Machado and Juan Soto. If everyone is paying attention to Tatis, they won't notice the other guys who are struggling. So I think that Tatis is not only going to help the club in terms of his pure skill, but also because he's such a big presence, all the other guys can kind of lax and just say, hey, focus on that guy. He's the reason why we're either going to be good or bad. The Mets and the Dodgers, this game is going to be fun to recap because both teams went back and forth all night long. There's Freddie Freeman with that solo home run, and Danny Burgers with a 2-run home run. He steals the lead right back until Austin Wynns, who was signed like 13 minutes before this game even happened, he stole the lead right back. That lead didn't last long as Jeff McNeil, he knocked in another. Hopefully he can get it going because he has been terrible to begin the season. Not done in the 4th inning after Vogelback grounded out to steal the lead a second time, and Brett Beatty, the rookie, he was called up and he came in clutch already. He ripped a huge RBI base hit past Freddie Freeman. Speaking of Freddie Freeman, there's Freddie again going the opposite way on a pitch that is just, how are you hitting it that far on a pitch that was almost at your kneecaps? He's hitting .330 on the season. Muncy hit one so hard and so far. The LA light operator was celebrating early. He knew it was gone. Slightly dangerous because he was turning off the lights before the ball actually landed. Someone could have got knocked in the head. Muncy has 6 home runs in his last 7 games. The LA Dodgers are up by, just kidding. A balk ties it at 6 runs apiece. There is a new rule that states you cannot come set twice, even if that's been your motion since you were a child. You can only come set 1 time. Again, that is a new rule. They're trying to speed up the game. I don't know if Bickford knew that or not, but it's a new rule and it's here to stay, so you better learn it quick. Lindor put the ball in play right after for an RBI ground out, and Pete Alonso, he doesn't hit home run number 9, but that's a clutch RBI as well. He is leading the league in total bases. The Dodgers were set down fairly easily by the Mets bullpen, and Adam Ottavino, with the help of Brandon Nimmo in center field, he grabbed a second save after a 1-2-3 inning. The Mets are 11-6. The Dodgers are 8-9. I heard you guys in the comments loud and clear. A lot of you want to see web gems back in these recaps, so we're going to bring those back, but that does it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe, and also remember to subscribe to my gaming channel, Fuzzy Gaming. Enjoy the web gems.
Poked over short, coming on hard. Fairchild slides!
Fastball hit in the air, right center field, playable for Kyle Isbell. MJ Melendez runs over, dives, makes the catch!
Bounced. Diving stop by Matthias. What a play to get to! That bouncer looked like it was headed up the middle into a...